Good day, dear students, and welcome back to our English class. In today's class, we're going to be dealing with the first poem for this particular year. It's called The Monsoon Bird, and it's by Monmohan Singh. And it's not the Monmohan Singh that was our Prime Minister. This is a different poet. Okay. So before we move on any further, do you know which bird in India is called the monsoon bird, and why is it called the monsoon bird? What is so special about this bird? So if you know about it, then you're going to really enjoy this poem. But even if you don't know, we're going to look at the bird and find out, what is the reason behind its being called the monsoon bird of India. Okay. But before that, I'd like to look at the poem and then we can go on. Okay. So I'll quickly read the poem once and then we can start. Okay. So it says here, the forked lightning in anger reaches out for the bird. Its tongue of fire and flame cannot fly further than his breadth of wings. The bird carries a message of the cool to the sun-baked world, and ponds mosaic of mud and weed. With 2 full moons under his wings, the cuckoo wraps the harshness of the sun in threads and knots of rain song. The hordes of clouds advance against the defenseless sky, as this winged burglar conquers the landscape with a full-throated cry. The cuckoo flies with its forecast of rain, blaring from the branches of the trees like a winged weather satellite. Okay, so a lot of, especially if you're not familiar with what the monsoon bird is, this is pretty much very, very new, and there are a lot of new concepts here. So I think it's better, before we start, we need a little bit of background into what is the monsoon bird and why it is called so. Okay, so let's quickly look at this report. So I have here, it says the monsoon bird is actually the pied cuckoo, or it's also called the chatak. Alright, so it says here the pied cuckoo is closely associated with monsoon rains in India, so much so that generations of nature watchers and observers have found a strong correlation between the pied cuckoo's sighting and rain following closely behind it. So the reason why the chatak or the pied cuckoo is called the monsoon bird is because that bird is seen just before the rainy season, and immediately after you spot the bird, the rain starts. So it's kind of it's seen as a bird that brings the rain to India. That's the reason why it is called the monsoon bird. Okay, and it says here it's given rise to this myth that the pied cuckoo itself summons rain as it flies all over the Indian subcontinent. So whenever you spot it, then it's sign that within the next 2 days or so, or maybe the very next day, it will start raining. Okay, so that's the reason why this bird is so famous, and it is called the monsoon bird of India. The bird's legend has even been referenced in the works of the poet Kalidasa. So it is pretty much a famous bird in India. A lot of people, not just of the present but in the past, famous people like Kalidasa used to refer to the pied cuckoo as the monsoon bird of India. Okay, now let's go back to the poem and see what we have here. Okay, now in the first stanza we have the forked lightning in anger reaches out for the bird. Now when it's about to rain, we have different indications from nature that it is going to rain. In the first place, we have thunder, then we have lightning, then we have black clouds. These are all indications of rain. Okay, so what the poet has created here is a very interesting scenario. Remember that the lightning, the thunder, the clouds, these are all also they herald that it is going to rain, or they announce, they tell us that it is going to rain. But so also the monsoon bird. But the poet here has made a very interesting kind of a competition. He's trying to say these are all here to tell us that it is going to rain, but who's going to tell us first? Okay, among all these different factors, including the monsoon bird, who is the first announcer of the monsoon? Who's going to tell us first that it is going to rain? Okay, so here right at the start we have a competition between the lightning and the bird, and who travels faster to tell the entire country that it is going to rain. Okay, so we have the forked lightning in anger reaches out for the bird. So it's as if the lightning itself is angry, and we have forked because I'll show you the image that we have here. A forked lightning simply means that like if you look at this one, this is an example. You can see the different branches of the lightning. It's like a fork, it just moves on in different directions. So that is a forked lightning. Okay. And what we're told is that it moves in anger, because obviously lightning is dangerous, and in anger with the bird, because it's as if the lightning wants to tell the world first, or tell India first, that it is going to rain, but the bird is competing with it. So the monsoon bird moves faster. Now you can see the lightning is spread here, but the monsoon bird, maybe if it is somewhere here, it will keep moving, and it races the lightning to go and tell the rest of India that it is going to rain. Okay. Let's go back to the poem. Yeah. The forked lightning in anger reaches out for the bird. Its tongue of fire and flame cannot fly further than his breadth of wings. Okay. Its tongue of fire and flame, they're talking about the branches of the lightning that we just saw. And you know that, there's fire in it, right? It can burn things. Okay. It's a very dangerous thing, lightning, right? Cannot fly further than his breadth of wings. That means although it is so spread out, and it is trying to attack the bird, it doesn't manage to, or it doesn't succeed in, because the bird is faster, the monsoon bird is faster. So the monsoon bird manages to race the lightning, and it is not affected by the big lightning that is splashed all across the sky. Okay. So the monsoon bird continues in its flight. It's in a hurry, and it's going to tell the rest of India that it is going to rain, and it is faster than the lightning. Okay. Then what does the bird carry with it? It says, the bird carries a message of the cool to the sun baked world and ponds mosaic of mud and weed. Okay, the bird is the monsoon bird, it carries a message of the cool. That means it is announcing a cool message, a message of the rain. And it is cool because the world is sun baked world, in the sense we're really talking about India here, to the sun baked world. Sun baked world means, if you remember right, uh, in the monsoons it's really terribly hot in India. Okay, so everything is dry, the land is dry, and everyone is just waiting for some water, some rain to come. Okay, so the sun baked world means it is so hot that the sun has almost baked the world, or the land that we live in. Okay. And pond's mosaic of mud and weed. Now I'll give you a very good picture of this. A pond's mosaic of mud and weed. In the first place, mosaic means, I'll show you a picture of mosaic. Mosaic means this pattern, small pieces put together and forms a beautiful pattern. That is an example of a mosaic. Okay, now how do we have a pond's mosaic? It says here, a pond's mosaic of mud and weed. So this mosaic is made of mud and weed. What the poet really is referring to is a situation like this, which all of us have seen. Can you see the small bits of the mud and the weed that is growing around the pond, and the water is almost dried? So this is how bad the situation of the earth is before it starts raining, because of the terrible heat, or the sun that we have. Okay, so at this kind of a situation, when the world is almost drying up, or India is almost drying up, that is when the bird comes and it announces to this dry world, or dry land, that it is going to rain. It gives a cool and a happy message of the rains. Okay, that is the monsoon bird, and that is what it does, right? And by the way, this is the picture of the pied cuckoo, or the monsoon bird. This is what it looks like. Yes, so it says here, yeah. So the bird carries a message of the cool to the sun-baked world and ponds mosaic of mud and weed. With two full moons under his wings, the cuckoo wraps the harshness of the sun in threads and knots of rain song. Okay. Now we are talking about two full moons. Full moon simply means 2 months. Okay, and actually it's not correct. India doesn't get only 2 months of rainfall. We get more than that. Okay, but here in this particular poem we have just two full moons. But we, the rest of India, at least 2 full months they'll definitely get. Maybe in Goa we get a little more than the others. But here we are just told that the cuckoo brings at least two full moons under his wings, 2 full months of rain that it carries under his wings. So as it comes, it brings those 2 months of rain to the rest of the country. Okay, uh, And with the rain, or with the monsoon season, the cuckoo wraps the harshness of the sun in threads and knots of rain song. Okay, so it covers the terrible heat of the summer season, and it replaces it with threads and knots of rain song. Threads and knots, we are simply referring to how rain looks like. It's like a thread. It falls like a thread or a knot. Okay, and the rain song, of course, the sound of the rain falling. Okay, so that all that the rain coming, the sound of it, the cool atmosphere that it creates, it is all thanks to the monsoon bird, because that is what brings the rain to the country. Okay, then, and as that happens, as the monsoon bird moves, as it brings the rain, okay, we are told the hordes of clouds advance against the defenseless sky. So as the monsoon bird keeps moving, it looks like as if it is bringing the heavy rain clouds along with it. Okay, so horde is a large number of clouds. Okay, and they are advancing against a defenseless sky. That means they're moving towards the defenseless sky. That means they're covering the sunny area there, and they are replacing it with the rain clouds. Okay, so very soon the sun is forced to disappear, and it is going to start raining. Okay, so I'll read this together again. The hordes of clouds advance against the defenseless sky as this winged burglar conquers the landscape with a full-throated cry. So it is just again a very imaginary situation. It is not possible that right as the bird is moving, it is going to start raining, but it is just created here. Okay, so what happens is they are saying that as the bird moves, the cloud follows the bird. Okay, and the clouds cover the sky. Okay, as this winged burglar conquers the landscape with a full-throated cry. That means besides that, the cuckoo grabs attention from everybody else because it is screaming. Okay, it gives a full-throated cry. It cries out very loudly, announcing to the whole of India that it is going to start raining. Okay, so everyone around can just pay attention to the cuckoo, because it is as loudly as possible, it is screaming and announcing to the world that it is going to start raining. Okay, then the cuckoo flies with its forecast of rain blaring from the branches of the trees like a winged weather satellite. So the cuckoo continues to fly with its forecast of rain. Forecast means its prediction of rain, blaring from the branches of the tree. Blaring is again screaming loudly from the branches of the tree like a winged weather satellite. Okay, so how does it forecast the rain? How does the cuckoo forecast the rain? It goes to different branches of the tree. It keeps crying out loudly and tells everyone around that it is going to rain. Then it goes to some other branches and keeps doing the same thing. Okay, so it announces to the world that it is going to rain like a winged weather satellite. So we know that the weather satellite is, it is formed, or it is created, it is invented in order to forecast or predict the weather. Okay, so the cuckoo here, when we say it is like a winged weather satellite, we are comparing the cuckoo to a weather satellite. Just like a weather satellite forecasts the change in weather, like that the cuckoo here is a winged weather satellite. It has got wings because it is a bird, but it does the same job as a weather satellite. That is, it predicts the change in weather. In this case, it predicts the change in weather from summer to the monsoon season. Right? So this is the end of the poem, and all that we have here, all that we've seen is how the cuckoo defeats the speed of lightning, and it continues flying, and as it flies, it carries the news of the cool monsoons to the sun-baked world. Okay, and as it moves, we are told that the rain clouds also follow the bird, and very soon, it's not bright anymore, not bright and sunny anymore, but it is dark and it is about to rain. And as the cuckoo flies again, he keeps screaming and telling everyone that it is going to rain with its cry, the cry that it makes. It tells everyone that it is going to rain, and very soon the rains begin to start. Okay, so this is it when it comes to the poem. It is a very simple and a very nice tribute to the monsoon bird, and It is written by the poet Monmohan Singh, and this is a picture of Monmohan Singh. He is a poet, a bird lover, an IAS officer, a nature observer. You could read up a little more about him, but this is a very beautiful poem written by him.